And good morning and welcome to the show, the Vision Alignment Show, where we begin to understand how important it is for our vision to be aligned with our core beliefs, our core values, our core strengths. That's why it's so important for us to know that it's in alignment. It's in alignment, and that is the best thing that we can have, because when we're in alignment, we're going to be more successful. We're going to be more happy. And we're going to be better people. That means everything. And I'm going to tell you that our guest today knows a lot about vision. I'm just in awe of what he's been able to tell me so far. And I'm looking forward to having him on with you to tell you more about his vision. Without any further ado, let's bring on the Rev. Hey!
Hello, Brian. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I was awesome this morning, and then talking to you in the pre-show made me feel more awesome. So thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So it's important for us all to understand what our vision is, and to know how it's aligned. But I want to ask you a question. When is the first time that you knew or have a recollection of your vision?
Oh man, that is an awesome question. Thank you. There were probably moments of my childhood that I didn't realize that was what was happening. But the first time it happened, and I wrote an article on LinkedIn about this, maybe we can share later.
Oh, yeah.
I very much, as a teenager, was obsessed with radio, right? I'm 47, so I'm a little older than maybe some of the people here. Radio was like king for a minute when I was a kid. But I remember driving around in my car, listening to the radio and wanting to be a radio DJ and thinking that was the coolest job in the world was to talk to people, right? To share things you think and play your favorite music. That's a dream job.
Yeah.
Right. In college, I worked for a furniture moving company for a summer. I didn't want to go home and live with my parents. So I stayed at school at Michigan State, and a friend of mine was like, oh, this pays $6 an hour. Go move couches. You get to work outside. You make good money and you get in shape. And I was like, sounds cool. It's great. It's a great job. I loved it. But one of the guys there was a DJ at the college radio station. And I was like, that's so cool. You're the coolest guy ever. And he one day came up to me and he's like, I wasn't Rev then. I was just David. And he's like, hey, you like heavy metal, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I love metal. My favorite band is this. And I started whatever. Yeah. He's like, cool. The heavy metal show host at the radio station is unable to do a shift next week. And he asked me that if I could cover. He's like, I don't know the first thing about metal. Do you want to come in and be my co-host for the evening? And I did the Rocky victory dance. Oh my God, I can be on the radio. And so I joined him that Monday night. It was 10 to 2 in the morning. And I was like, what am I going to do? And he's like, just pick out songs. Tell me what to play. And I was over the moon. And so we're in there for a half hour. And I'm like, play this and play this and play this. And he looked at me. He's like, do you want to go on air? Oh my God, Rocky dance again. And so he put me on air, and I put on the headphone cans and turned on the mic. And he's like, hey, this is Rob B. That was his on-air name, Rob B. and the Hours of Power, blah, blah, blah. I got my special guest, Dave, what's your name? And I was like, Davey J, the DJ. And he put me on, and I was a natural. I was like, oh, we just heard this song. We heard that song. And Brian, no joke, I'm kidding you. You turn off the mic, hit play on the song. In the back of the studio was one of those red bat phones, no dial, just it rings, and it rings and rings and rings. And I was like, uh-oh, who did I make mad? Rob goes over and grabs the phone, and he picks it up, and he's like, hello? Yeah, it's Rob. That's my coworker, Dave. You want to talk to him? Hold on. And my heart sinks, and I'm like, oh, great. What FCC violation? And he hands me the phone. I pick up the phone. I said, hi, this is Dave. And he's like, hi, my name's Brent. I'm the general manager of the station. I was like, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. And he's like, do you like heavy metal? And I was like, yeah, I like heavy metal. He's like, do you want to host this show? And I was like, what? And he's like, the host of the show is quitting in 2 weeks, and we need to find a new co-host. You're a natural. Do you want to come in and be on the radio? And I was like, yes. And he's like, cool. Can you be in my office Monday at 2:00? And that was it. 2 weeks later, I was on the air, and I was a radio DJ, and I was like, "Wow, I'm a radio DJ!" I couldn't believe it. It happened, and I wasn't playing the hits of the day. I was playing music that I was truly passionate about. Yeah. And I didn't realize it at the time. I realized it later, but I had a vision of me doing this thing, and by holding strong to that vision and keeping it top of mind and talking about it and seeing myself doing it before it happened is what made it come to true.
Awesome. If you want to hear more, stick around. Wow.
That was probably a bit longer of an intro than normal, right?
That was awesome. I love it. So we've got people coming on here, and they're going to leave comments. But as you do leave comments, please put in a hashtag live and a hashtag replay if you're listening on replay. If you would also let us know where you're coming in from, that would be great. And then, as always, put in your timeline a picture of you winking. So last week we had somebody, Allie Dennis. She won the picture of or a signed copy of my book. Sometimes it does take a brain surgeon, and she got that because she put a picture of herself winking in her timeline, and she tagged me on it, and then she put in a hashtag of Brian with one eye, and yes, that's what I go by, and a hashtag of winking with Wagner. So we're talking about vision. Vision today with the great Rev Ciancio. Thank you so much for being on.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm having the time of my life right now, Brian.
Oh, this is awesome. I had no idea vision meant so much to you. It should mean a lot to you, but I mean, I had no idea that it played such an important role in your life. So
can I tell you a story?
Yeah, absolutely.
So 2018, right? I was a director of marketing for a software company, and I loved my job, and I loved what I was doing, and I loved who I was serving. And it was Labor Day weekend, and my family and I went to the lake. We have like a lake that we go to. And we came home that day, and I was mowing my lawn, right? And I fell off a wall and broke my ankle while I was mowing my lawn, okay? I also broke both my wrists. 3 appendages broken in a half a second, okay? I ended up in the hospital. Literally within an hour, I was in the emergency room. And the next day, I was moved to a hospice where I lived for 6 weeks. Wow. In that 6 weeks, I saw my wife and kid twice, okay? Wow. Because each time they came, my kid got really sick because there's sick people in there, right? And he was a toddler, and like it happens. So for 6 weeks, I went from like being the top of the world, king of the pile, doing what I want, to like I couldn't get out of bed without help. Yeah, okay, you couldn't. I mean, in the 6 weeks that I lived in hospice, right, unable to do anything really, I didn't miss a single day of work, not one. I was in the emergency room on my iPad with casts on both wrists and my ankle on a conference call. And the doctor finally came to see me, and I was like, hold on, I got to finish this call. Like, super dedicated. Okay. Anyway, already long story short, I got out, I moved home. I couldn't even leave this one floor because I couldn't walk. Right. Yeah. I had to scooter to the bathroom, scooter to the kitchen, scooter to the couch. Right. I went through that. I was on that scooter and unable to walk for like 4 or 5 months. I lost my job. Right. I got let go like days before Christmas. So here I am, insane medical bills, this thing that I couldn't control. Like basically I lost my whole life. Okay. I was freaking out. Like most people, absolutely freaking out. Like I have mortgage, I got a kid, I got bills, I got the whole thing. And like, I can't even get on a vehicle to go to the city to do a job interview. What am I going to do? Right. I applied to some jobs, whatever. I got some consulting gigs. The other thing, I ended up getting a really cool consulting gig with a company that did something similar. Okay. And I figured out a way to get myself into the city. I had a walking boot and a cane, and I was getting better. And I was, they basically said, we'll hire you for 4 weeks. If it goes well, we'll bring you on full time. So pressure's on, right? They decide they really like me, but they don't want to bring me in full time. They just increase my consulting hours. And I'm trying to be the head of marketing there. I'm trying to run the department for a software company.
Yeah.
And Brian, I had a freak out. I felt like I couldn't accomplish anything. I felt like I had no vision. I felt like I couldn't get people to do anything. And I was like, what happened to me? I used to be really good. Now I suck. And there were days that I would I would book a conference room and I would close the door, turn off the lights, and just lay on the floor because I was lost. My heart would be pounding. I feel like I didn't know how to lead people. I didn't know how to create content. I didn't know how to do me. I didn't know how to do what I do. And I literally was like, I can't live like this. This is not going to work for me. Like, what am I going to do? And I realized that in that moment, it was the first time in my professional career that I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody that I could call and ask questions to and look up to. You know, I didn't have my dad. I didn't have a great leader in the company. And that's our GM there was amazing, but he wasn't that person for me yet.
Yeah.
I didn't have somebody who I could call and be like, what do I do? And I went online and I started searching for a visionary leader, a coach, a trainer, something like executive coach, whatever. And I found one. I found John Mark Shaw. And I'm going to introduce the two of you later. You should talk to John.
Yeah.
John saved my life. Okay. April of 2019, I called John and he scared the bejesus out of me. And I said, John, you got to help me. Like, I want to be a visionary leader. Like, I know that I am. And I, you know, I've already told a long story, but basically what I learned from John was you control your destiny.
Yeah.
You make your own vision and you make your own path. And every decision that you make aligns to that vision and that path. And the more tightly you hold that vision and your desires and your intention to your chest, the easier it is to make them happen. When you see yourself as the person you want to be before you're the person, you'll make that happen. And making that decision to have somebody help me and to hold me, you know, basically he's an accountability buddy, right? Yeah. I set my vision, I set my path, and making that decision to have somebody help me hold my vision tightly has changed my life incredibly, right? I feel like I can do anything now.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's the kind of person I need. I mean, I've been looking for a mentor myself, and this is getting personal in a show. But yes, I need somebody like that. And that sounds so appropriate. And maybe other people on the call here as well feel the same way. So, you know, if you're looking for somebody like that, you know, keep looking and you're going to find him. I'm not sure where, but you know, maybe it's this guy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the guy for me.
Yeah, I don't want to turn this into a commercial for John. He's great. But the key is, right, is to know what is it that you want to be, not what you want to have, right? What is it you want to be? What is the person you're looking to become tomorrow, Friday, next week, a year from now, 10 years from now? And to have a very clear vision of what that is that you want to be. When you can do that, and I make it sound so easy, it's not, right? It's not easy to be vision driven.
Yeah.
But if you commit to being vision driven, you can get Eric Bam. I love Eric Bam.
Yeah, he's good. He's something about buffalo chicken from Arby's. Yeah, he goes on and says you're a rock star. So yeah, and then we've got another guy on, Ted Legal.
Hi, Ted.
Awesome, Ted. Yeah.
The key is, and listen, I do. I don't know if you do this. I do this. I have a vision statement, and every morning I get up. I go through a grateful practice, why I'm grateful to be here, what I'm grateful for in advance. I stretch, I go through the 3 S's, right? The shave and the shower and the other one.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I open up my phone or I sit at my desk and I read my vision statement. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to do. And by doing that every single day, my vision of what I want to become and who I want to become is stronger and stronger. And it's funny, I'll go back and read it and be like, oh, that happened. Oh, that happened. That happened. Oh, that happened. That happened.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So tell me what if you can, I don't know if you have it ready or if you can recite it. What is your vision statement?
It'd take me 8 minutes to read it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. There's some other people on here.
Hey, that's my mom.
Is that right?
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Wanda. How are you? And this is not your mom.
That is not. But basically, the vision statement goes like this. It starts with, I am so happy and grateful now that. And then I list out all the things that I'm happy and grateful for in advance of having them. the money I want to make, the people I want to serve, the person I want to be, the things I would like for my family. And I also talk about buying a Mustang with cash.
Nice. I like that. What year Mustang?
Brand new. I am going to buy a brand new white convertible Mustang V8 tricked out. I'm going to pay for it with cash.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm going to let the how come to me later. But basically, my vision statement is basically like, look, this is what I want to be. This is who I want to serve. This is how I'm going to serve them. And this is the person I'm going to become in the process.
Yeah. I need to, I have some of that, but I need to hone that. I need to make it more mine. So that's great advice.
The key that works for me, right, is to talk in the present tense about the thing I want to be that I'm not yet or I'm working on, right? Mm-hmm. So like you've done a TED Talk, right?
Yeah.
Unreal. Like that's not in my vision statement, but if I might have to add it. So rather than saying one day I'm going to do a TED Talk, I would say I'm a TED Talk presenter.
Yeah.
Right? I would see myself in the role.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I talk with a lot of people, but not many get to this level of sincerity with what you have. So I appreciate you telling me that. So that's awesome. How do we make sure that we continue to be real with ourselves and with, because when you're writing that stuff, I mean, sometimes you kind of like, this is kind of woo-woo, or this is kind of out there, but how do you make sure that you stay who you are, stay present, and you stay with your core?
And that's a great question. It feels weird to write a vision statement, right? It sounds like some mystical unicorn that nobody's interested in, but you just kind of got to do it, right? You got to kind of read it, and you kind of got to believe in yourself. And the key, and I think you'll agree with me here, is to not only be honest, but like allow yourself to be a little exposed, right? Like I sort of embrace awkwardness, like being uncomfortable. Great entrepreneurs and great thinkers are okay with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? The more that you're willing to reveal of who you are on the inside, the more honest you are with yourself and with other people, the easier it is to transform and manifest.
Right. Yeah. So I can identify with that, because I mean, 10 years ago, you know my story, but I mean, 10 years ago I lost my eyesight, but then about 2 months ago I had another brain bleed and caused my mouth, all my face to be hot and numb at times, actually all the time. So going through that, being uncomfortable with that, yes, a different kind of uncomfortable than what you're talking about, but being able to talk about that and to relate that to other people. So, Brian with one eye, nobody would think of me being able to laugh at that. So it's taken me a long time to be able to laugh at that. But when I'm uncomfortable with it, and then I got to more when people really like to hearing it, then it makes more sense to them. And it makes more sense for me to say it, because people laugh, and I love to make people laugh. So
it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. So
by exposing your vulnerability, you make people trust you, and you become more trustworthy in the process. Yeah. I didn't laugh out loud when you said Brian with an eye, but I was giggling on the inside because I didn't want to ruin the show. But like, good for you, man. That's awesome. I love how you've embraced it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's been hard, but it's once it's gotten there. I mean, I'm very thankful that I have it. I'm thankful that I have the ability to laugh at that. So I want to be able to laugh at the other stuff too. I mean, the whole numbness in the face and all that. So, and for you, from your perspective, and I apologize, we're making this about me, and it's not supposed to be about me. But for you, from your perspective, what do you do? Do you have daily or weekly things that you do to kind of bring you back to your vision, other than the vision statement?
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 core practices, okay? 3 core practices, and I put this on Instagram the other day, so if somebody wants to jack it, they can, okay? Oh. Number 1, okay? Do not get out of bed without generating a state of gratitude, okay? So I earmark 5 minutes in the morning. My alarm goes off 5 minutes before I should be getting out of bed, and I spend those 5 minutes just thinking about what I'm grateful for, okay? Some days it's a little harder to generate that state than it is on otherwise no problem. But I think about what I'm grateful for now and what I'm going to be grateful for in advance. Okay. My kitchen counter has a giant crack in it. I'm going to get it fixed. I think about it being fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm also grateful.
Uh-oh. I lost you. Are you there? Uh-oh. Dave. You're also great. So you're grateful for them something now and something in advance. So we got the first two. Dave, you froze. Hopefully you come back. Hopefully, it's not one of those things where, we don't have. Let me make sure we have connectivity because, let's see. Make sure that we have the going live and make sure that I'm still on. So there we are. Uh-oh. It looks like I have gone. Oh no. Gotta go. All right. All right.
Hey there. Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened.
I think it was me. I'm looking here on my phone, and it looks like we're frozen up. So let me make sure that we're still on.
It says live on my screen. So
yeah, it says live, and I see you moving. And let's see. Yeah, I'm moving. Okay, we're back on.
All right, cool. So number one, do not get out of bed without generating a state of gratitude. Be grateful in advance. Okay, so that's number one.
Okay.
Number two thing I do, have a to-be list. Okay. Some people call it a vision statement. I call it a to-be list. It is not a to-do list. It is not what I want to do. It is what I want to be.
Okay.
So I read my vision statement and then I write out a list of the things I want to be that day. Not what I want to do, what I want to be. Okay. So you wouldn't say like, oh, I need to take care of this task. You would say who I want to be in that task.
Okay.
Right? What is it I want to deliver? Okay.
All right.
So again, start with a state of gratitude.
Got it.
Make a daily to-be list. Okay. And then this one's key. At the end of the day, and you can do it at the end of the workday, or you can do it right before you go to bed, but write down at least 2 to 3 things that you are grateful for and proud of. Okay. When you do
that day?
From at the end of the day.
That came from that day?
Yes, sir.
Or just in general?
That day.
Okay.
Right. So the idea is like if you accomplish, it doesn't matter how big or small it is, celebrate your wins. I mean, how many times have we let a single moment ruin a whole day?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The key is you control whether that moment ruins the day or not. And you can always go back to a grateful moment. Like, look, my coffee today was delicious. It really was. I had really good coffee. Okay. If I had a crappy moment in the morning, I would just go back to how good that coffee was. Like, it's just a switch. Right. So at the end of the day, write down at least 2 to 3 things that you are grateful for and proud of from that day. When you start to do those three things, wake up in a state of and generate a state of gratitude, make it to daily to-be list, and write down what you are grateful for and proud of, it will transform your life. And it sounds silly, and it's not. It's going to be your favorite part of the day. I cannot wait till the end of the day. I actually put it in my calendar. At 6:15 p.m. every day, I have 15 minutes blocked off for me to write my grateful and proud list.
And do you keep the grateful and proud list in the same place as your other stuff?
It's a note on my phone. So I can literally read it. I can read it on my phone or I can read it on my desktop. And I read my vision statement. I write my to-be list. I come back to that same note and I do my grateful and proud. And I can go back 2 years now and read every single one of them.
Huh. That's pretty cool. I
Works
like
for
it.
me.
So tell me, what's the biggest factor you think in your success?
Deciding in advance for an outcome.
Okay. So what do you mean by that? Deciding in advance for an outcome?
Like I told you, we'll use a really fun example. I said earlier that I'm going to buy a white Mustang convertible V8 with cash.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. I just have decided that it's going to happen, right?
I want to hear about it when you get that. Will you let me know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun, but also like, I decided in advance that like, look, we're going to send my kid to college one day. He's 4.5, right?
Yeah.
I decided about a year ago what my financial goal was to save money for his college. Okay. Mm-hmm. I said, this is my 1-year goal, my 5-year goal, and my 10-year goal. I know I didn't do 1, 5, and 10 in my fingers, but basically like I was like, by end of the first year, I want to put this much into his 529, this much at 5, and this much in 10. Hmm. In 1 year, I'm almost at the 10-year goal. Sorry, sure. Almost at the 5-year goal. I decided in advance that I would do this thing. When you decide in advance to do something and you don't know how to do it, the how will come to you. Hmm. When you hold a vision statement of what it is that you want to accomplish, the how will come. You will download the how.
I love this. So tell me, we talked briefly about this. I talked to you about how I made money. How do you make money? If that's not too personal.
No, I am a hospitality marketing consultant.
Okay.
So I help restaurants to acquire and retain guests, okay, through digital marketing, social media, and the use of incredible software. And then I also help companies who make incredible software that help restaurants to acquire and retain guests, to acquire and retain customers. So I consult with hospitality businesses, restaurants, and bars, and I consult with technology companies that empower restaurants to provide incredible experiences.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
And are you strictly in New York or elsewhere?
Well, I live in North Jersey, Metro New York, but my clients, listen, we're living this weird 2D life on screens now, right? This is where the magic happens. So I work with restaurants and technology companies all over the place.
Huh. Awesome.
I also teach an online course called the Third to First Party Conversion Bootcamp. It's about to relaunch here in about a week or two, but essentially for restaurant owners who are battling third-party delivery apps like Grubhub and DoorDash and Uber Eats that charge an unbelievable high commission and own the customer journey, they make me so mad. I teach restaurants how to break that flywheel, how to get guests to order from them directly, to not go back to ordering from those third-party apps, how to increase their order frequency and their average order value. And so you can sign up for the class. Again, it's going to go live here and again in 2 weeks, called the Third to First Party Conversion Bootcamp. And you can learn literally how to generate more revenue from your own online ordering.
Yeah. So I just read in the paper, a local paper, how they have put together an ordinance or something to make sure that the third parties that can't charge anymore. I don't know what the number was. Maybe $15 per ticket.
Fee cap.
Yeah, they capped it. So I'm assuming that some of the places you're talking to that would be interested, that they don't have the ability to cap.
Well, even if there's a fee cap, right? And fee caps are great because it means it doesn't cost as much. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether you pay $10 or $1. They own the customer, right? If you're working with DoorDash or Grubhub, you don't get the person's email address, you don't get their phone number, you can't remarket to them. Mm-hmm. Even if you negotiate down to like a 5%, right? They still own the customer journey, and you can't remarket to them. That's not good. That's not how you drive return trips.
Right.
That's not how you increase frequency.
Okay, so the online course is called the Third to First Party Conversion
Bootcamp. It's a 6-week program. You go through that 6 weeks, and by the end of it, you should be able to get 100% lift in your online orders.
Awesome. So I need to make sure that we promote that.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I decided to rebuild it. I wanted to make it stronger and better and deliver more value. It'll be a week or two before it's live again.
Yeah. So will it be available on your website?
I don't have a website.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be available online. I promote it through social and a number of other places. But it's not live right now. But you can go to rev.give/bootcamp, and that's where it will be.
Rev.give/bootcamp.
Gibbs.
Gibbs, like Andy Gibb.
Yeah, well, most people go with .com, and I went with .gives because I'm a giver. I'm trying to give. So
Okay.
boot camp.
Gibbs.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow, I'm not familiar with that. Gibbs.com.
Yeah. By the way, if you go to Rebrandly,
Yeah.
you can buy your own link shortener. You can buy Brian.gives. You can get vision alignment.gives for $2.
Huh. That's too much.
All right, sorry.
Oh wow! This is great. We're already past half an hour, and really, it's a half an hour show. So, and yeah, we had a little glitch in there. I don't know what happened, but probably something I did. I've got to ask. I mean, there are so many questions I have to ask you still. So
I'm good. Let's go.
Well, I mean, do we do this now, or do you want to come back sometime?
I can keep talking. If you want to stay live, I'm good for at least another 10 minutes. So
okay. So I already asked what the biggest factor in their success was, but what are some hurdles that you're still trying to overcome?
Man, life is really good at throwing hurdles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hurdles happen every day, right?
Yeah.
I don't see them as hurdles. Okay. I see them as lessons. Okay. I see them as a chance to grow stronger muscles. Okay. I don't let what I would consider a condition, right, or a consequence change my path, right? They're just moments to get stronger muscles. And sometimes, right, what gets in our way is a person, right? One of our loved ones or a coworker or somebody that we're with is real difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I call them? Sacred friend. Okay. That person is there to teach you to be stronger. That person is there to teach you to learn how to be a better person. That person there is as a gift. That is a blessing to help you get stronger muscles and be a better person. Okay. So I get hurdles thrown at me all the time. I'm just grateful for them. I call them blessings because I'm going to become a better person in dealing with the hurdle or dealing with the problem.
That's awesome.
And one of my favorite ones is my lawn. I never thought I'd be somebody who loved their lawn, and I love my lawn. And my grass turned brown last summer. And I was out there every day with like this spray and that spray and fertilizer and watering it, and it still went brown. And at the end of the summer, we basically had like this dead lawn. And I was so upset because I cared so much. I cared so much about this. What a silly thing to care about, my lawn. And then I realized, I am learning patience. I am learning to not rely on myself. I had to call people in here to fix my lawn. I was learning that you can't be great at everything, right? And I was learning to be grateful for having that problem.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lawn. That's awesome. Some people don't have a lawn.
Right. Okay.
And so I love to talk about my lawn being a sacred friend and being a blessing because I learned. And I'm looking out my window right now, and that grass is green. And it is cold as anything on January 26th. And I'm going to work hard on making that lawn green. You know, when I look out the window, I see these whole patches underneath my kid's swing set. Mm-hmm. In my mind, they're green.
Well, your kids can swing. That's cool. Not every kid has a swing, so
My kid has a very nice grandmother who, that in the middle of a pandemic, knew he wanted to go to the playground and bought him a swing set. So,
yeah, wow, that's awesome. So, tell me, what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Oh man, the best advice. I get so much good advice. I can't pick one. I would probably say wake up in it with it, and don't get out of bed until you generate a state of gratitude. That small piece of advice has rocket fueled and changed my life. Can I give a piece of advice?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is also my life motto.
To me or to everybody?
To anybody that wants to hear it.
Okay.
Be awesome at two things and outsource everything else. There is no person that can be good at everything. Find the two things that you're like really good at or really passionate about and be absolutely phenomenal at those two things, and get a team for the other people to be good at with the other stuff. Find people who have two awesome things that align with your two awesome things.
Wow. That's good advice.
Whew, nailed it.
And outsource everything else. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to live in a world, and I didn't create this statement. I learned this from Russell Brunson, but and Steve Larson. Not how, but who.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn how to do everything. You just need to find somebody who does it really well.
Yeah. Dan Sullivan wrote the book on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've got to hang on. Hang on.
I love props. Let's see some props.
Where did I do it?
Here's my prop that I bring to everything is my fidget spinner.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right, you got a book. Who, not how. There you go. I didn't even know it was a book.
There you go. Who, not how, but Dan Sullivan. So be awesome at two things and outsource everything else. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. So you have a son, 4 years old. What's your next level of success look like?
My goal in 2021 is to be able to serve and assist and help thousands of restaurants in making more revenue through incredible marketing. At the end of this year, I want to know that I've touched 1,000 restaurants and helping them to be successful.
Huh. That's a big goal.
Or more, or something better, or 10,000. Yeah. I don't know, but 1,000 is like my bare minimum.
Okay. 2021, you want to serve 1,000 restaurants through marketing. Okay. Beer, wine, or bourbon?
What day of the week is it?
Well, today's Tuesday.
Okay, so today is actually going to be a rum day. But funny story. So I used to own a craft beer and bourbon bar in New York City. And we had at one point the largest amount of bourbon, the largest collection of bourbon in all of New York. We had 127 different bourbons in there. And we would win awards on our craft beer program, and we only had 6 taps.
Wow.
So I'm really insanely passionate. Thanks, Mom. I'm insanely passionate about craft beer. I'm not as passionate about bourbon. I do love it. But I'm also in the middle of transforming. Hi, John. John's a visionary thinker. John's one of my accountability buddies.
Good.
We have a Monday morning mastermind. John's incredible. I love craft beer so much that during COVID, I drank 700 of them. I'm not inflating that at all. Between mid-March and the end of October, I drank 700 beers sitting at this desk by myself. I'm not alcoholic or an addict. I just love craft beers, like 3 beers a night. I got real fat, like super fat, like super crazy fat. And at the beginning of November, I decided I was going to change my life. And I've lost 35 pounds since November. And one of the things, here, you'll laugh. Look at this. See my shirt?
Oh, wow.
Hold it over.
Wow.
I stopped drinking craft beer. I've had 1 craft beer in the last 90 days, and man, do I miss it. I love craft beer. So it was a long way of answering your question, beer.
Huh. That's amazing. Jonathan just says, aw. And then I like 1,000 gold. Oh, yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin gives you props for that.
I'm crazy passionate about local craft beer. So like I've taken the one thing that like I really truly love outside of like my family or whatever and removed it from my life because it was causing problems.
Wow. 700 in that amount of time that's a lot.
It's not. It sounds like it, but basically I was drinking 3 beers a day, 6 beers a week, 6 days a week. Right. And then the occasional like backyard barbecue or birthday party where I'd have like 7 or 8 or 10 becomes 700, becomes 700 real quick.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I love beer myself, so that's the problem. And I have the belly to show for it. COVID has not been friendly to me from that perspective.
It's easy to make that change.
Yeah, and I love the craft beers as well. Local craft beers from around here. I'm not the connoisseur, but I've in the last 5 to 10 years gotten away from all the normal beers, the domestic beers. I don't want to name names, but so the craft beers are good. So anyway, so where are we? So you said we're already 10 minutes over. So again, I don't want to take your time, but we could go on and on forever. So without making it too awkward, I want to just thank you for your time. I really appreciate you being on. I know there's a lot more that we could cover. I really want to make sure that we can continue to stay talking. I'm going to wave you off, but then I'll close out the show. If you would, stick in the green room for just a few minutes. I'll be right there.
Cool. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. And thank you for Kevin and John and my mom and Eric and everybody who participated. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care. See you. Wow. What a show. What a show. What a show. I love it. Incredible. We've got lots of great shows coming up now. Tomorrow, Wes White is going to lead the show, and he is going to do a great job. And I'm not sure who he's going to have on, but he's going to talk more about vision alignment, and that is going to be so important. Then on Thursday, we have a special guest coming on. Friday, we have a special guest as well. So I want to make sure that you're there for that, but also make sure that you're available on Friday at 11:30 for the Stroke of Genius show. And the Stroke of Genius show is all about helping people with disabilities and their caregivers. So that's an important part of everything we do as well. So, wow, what a great show this week. And just looking forward to having more of it and doing more with you. If there's ever anything you need from me, by all means, let me know. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you all. And as always, keep one eye on the road. Bye.